What's up? How y'all doing?
Is there any part of you that prefers to start the season on the road, or does it really matter to you?
To me, it doesn't matter. I'm just excited to finally hit somebody. It's been a while for me since I have, so you can't hit Marvin. So I'm excited to go against a different team and finally showcase true speed, true everything.
You've been around a long time now. The longest tenure guy. You've seen things that work, seen teams that don't work, that do work. Why will this team work this year?
I just think we have all the capabilities to be a great team, in all phases of the game, special teams, defense, and offense. At the end of the day, it's about grinding and putting the work in order to, have that mentality and feel those ways to, ultimately win. And, we've been grinding. We've been, having great practices. Very excited for, the season. And, just letting everything else take care of itself. It all starts with, the grinding and be where your feet are, living in the present. And the present is, it's Thursday. We just got done with practice. And, just take it one day at a time. And when Sunday happens, everyone's ready to go.
What do you like most about the defense?
I like everything about the defense. I love the new guys that we brought in, guys from the draft as well. I'm very excited to, to see what the defense can do. Definitely there's high expectations and, we're excited. For me, it's, I don't like to talk much about stats or what could possibly happen. I just like to talk about the grind and living in the present. And, when Sunday happens, everyone will see.
What do you think about the challenge of going against that Bills offense, and especially a guy like Josh Allen who can do so many different things?
Yeah, it's an ultimate challenge. A playoff team in the Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen, great quarterback, a guy who can throw inside the pocket, outside the pocket, very hard to tackle. Just an all-around great quarterback that, he's playing at a high level for, years on end. So definitely excited to go against a QB like that week one because, he believes in his players and, of course we believe in our players. So it's just game's all about matchups and, like I said, Josh Allen, he's a great QB. Excited to go against him. I think I've only gone against him one time. And, he did a great job against us at the time. And, new year, new team, and I'm very excited to showcase our abilities on Sunday.
You've been around Tyler since he's been here. And you said yesterday that he's as happy as he's been and allows him to play freer, just be freer.
Yeah.
How have you seen that from someone who's kind of known him for the last 6 years?
Yeah, with all the, all the players that he has, of course, I feel like he should be, happy, should be excited, should be at his best, because of, we have great players all around for him. Tight end, we have, one of the best tight ends in the league, some great receivers, great rookie receiver that, will be able to showcase his abilities. And, of course, great running backs as well. And James Conner, all those running backs. But, of course, James Conner, great running back that, runs downhill and is, a punisher. So definitely excited. Great O-line as well. Guys who just want to, put their hand in the dirt and block to the best of their abilities for K1. So definitely excited for what our offense can do and what K1 can do, especially. I didn't even talk about his ability to run. So it's going to be definitely exciting.
What has impressed you the most about Marvin and the way he's come in and just basically worked?
Yeah, exactly. Just being able to, be a top 5 pick and coming in and just working, that's the name of the game. A lot of players might, be feeling, a type of way because they've such a high draft pick. But, Marvin, he comes in each and every day, comes in early, gets extra work in the training room and, catches footballs early before practice, after practice, really works on his routes each and every day. Definitely excited for what Marvin can do, and of course his dad's a Hall of Fame receiver, so that brings it on to a whole nother level. So I don't really want to talk about him much because I don't want other teams to hone in on that. So hopefully they leave him in one-on-one situations for about 4 weeks, and then maybe they'll have to double him.
You've had to deal with young cornerbacks playing the secondary with you before, especially like last year. Do you feel like it's much different this year? Do you feel like you're kind of in that back in that situation with dealing with those young guys?
Yeah, I feel like it's much different. This off season, the coaches and the staff did a great job of kind of teaching the concepts of each and every concept before teaching the play. So it gave the young guys an opportunity to understand the concept of, cover 1, cover 2, cover 3, cover 4, cover 6, cover 8, cover 9, all those concepts of understanding what they mean, and then putting it into the details of our defense and how we do those calls. So it's night and day different. Those guys are great players. Those young guys are, young corners will be great. And I'm excited to see them play this week.
Is it me, man, or is corner one of those positions you can play young? You can do that early in your career. But like middle linebacker is hard to play young. Safety is hard to play young. But corner you can. Am I wrong?
Corner's a hard position. They get put on an island, and you can have, as a corner, you can have 50 plays in a game, and you can have 3 bad plays, and those 3 bad plays are touchdowns. So it's definitely a reason corners get paid, because they get put on those islands, and our corners are doing a very good job of all the things that we do, and I'm very excited to, of course, have Sean Murphy-Bunting in there as well, helping those guys out. A guy who's played in big games, played in Super Bowl, and just explaining how he does things as well, and that helps him out as well. So, I would say, corner's a hard position to play, and I'm excited to see those boys play, because I'll be in the back, telling them, of course, the calls, and letting them know they can trust me. So it's going to be very exciting.
What have you seen from Star, who came in last year at this time after being cut by another team, and seems to have carved out a pretty good role on this defense?
Yeah, what I've seen from Star is just a guy who's came in and worked hard each and every day. Star's like my little bro. I kind of put him under my wing. So, off-season training with the guys that I train with, and running, competing with me, and, sprinting, having our conversations and our smack talk throughout the off-season on who's faster, and doing these, understanding football, just teaching them a little more about the safety position as well, to let him understand, all right, in this call, this is what we're reading, so it helps him understand how he should read things as a corner. So, I'm definitely excited for Star. He's done a great job in the off-season training camp. He's made a lot of plays, and then in the preseason, I told the coaches I didn't want him to play, but of course, the young boys, they got to play. So, he did a great job in the preseason. I'm very excited to see what he can do in the real season now that it starts.
What type of statement do you guys want to make week 1 against the Bills?
For me, I'm not a big on statements. I'm big on grinding, living in the present. And like I said, today we just had a great practice. After this, I'm going to go get my lift in. I'm going to still, be where my feet are, work hard, get my lift in. Tomorrow we're going to do our red zone and our 4-minute, 2-minute situations. And Saturday we're going to have that walkthrough grind. Sunday, after the game, maybe I'll talk to you about how I feel.
He was in here earlier this week, and he was talking about how you might say you block out the noise, but you're on social media. He sees the way that people talk about this defense, and that fires him up. How do you treat that kind of the way people have been talking about this defense?
Yeah, for me personally, I haven't really seen much, just because I kind of block that stuff out, block the noise out, in the sense of I just don't really go on social media, and for me, and of course you hear it maybe freaking, in March and April, but at the end of the day, who cares at that point? And for me, my message, always to the team is, just believe in the guys that are in the circle, believe, that we're going to work and grind and have that mentality to win games. And as long as we do that as a group, everything else will take care of itself.
Do you delete social media at some point before the season? Do you have it in the off season and then delete it before the season?
I don't delete it. I just don't. I put it in I got an iPhone, so I put it in a little. I make a new little you have your utilities little things here. I put it in those boxes, so I'm not really seeing it much. The only things I'll really see is when my sister or my lady sends me a funny thing on Instagram. They'll be like, God, go look at Instagram. So I'll look at that. But other than that, when it comes to football, my head is in my iPad trying to understand what the Buffalo Bills concepts are doing and trying to understand what they're trying to do. So, I don't know what they're saying about us, but whatever they're saying, it's all their opinions, and they're entitled to their own opinion. And, we're going to be the ones on that field come Sunday.
Who do you think of a favorite quote from JG, or favorite lineup that he's thrown out there at times?
I mean, he throws out so many lines. I mean, for me, I like when he says you have to know it, because there's like some people don't understand what knowing it means. Knowing it means you know exactly what's going to happen. If, for example, teams like the motion, so you'll have a formation, and knowing it is like understanding, all right, if they have a formation here, who's going to motion towards me to make those certain different communication that I have to make in the play, within the play pre-snap. So that's knowing it. If I just know it, I know exactly what to do pre-snap, but when they start motioning, and I might start, not really, speaking out, then my corner doesn't really know what to call. Then, that's turns into, whatever that word is, turns bad, So catastrophe, that's not good, especially in DBs, because if I don't communicate something, corner doesn't know, we're going to have someone, wide open deep in the field. So just understanding, we have to know it, and that's a big thing.
Some of those sayings in your head from time to time?
I find myself just, thinking about the calls on defense, thinking about the, certain calls that we have and the certain motions that they can possibly do to make us trade our calls or change our calls. And, me being, at the safety position, I'm a lot aligned with the nickel sometimes. So I got to communicate to the nickel, then communicate to the corner. Then they start motioning. You have to communicate other words. So it definitely, my mind is completely on getting to understanding the first play, whatever the play is, and then understanding if we have a different play, if they line up in a different formation, or if they go empty, we have another play. So just understanding the intricate details of my assignment, and then being able to rally that out to my teammates.
This is your fifth year, straight year as a captain.
Yeah.
How important is that to you, especially it's voted by the team, and does it ever get old?
Yeah, of course, it's very important. I don't take that lightly, of course. For me, I just try to continue to be the best player I can be foremost, and then, of course, explain those certain details that I understand that somebody else might not understand. So just giving them the knowledge to understand the game, at a high level. Like you said, I've been playing this game for this is my year 8. So, I feel like I have a good sense of, football. So just being able to, help guys out in that factor is definitely special for me. And for those guys to think of me that way is definitely special. And for me, I just take it one day at a time, continue to grind, and let everything else take care of itself. I know you guys hear that all the time, but that's how I truly am. And that's how, it's led me to where I am today. So that's all I can do, and that's all I'm going to continue to do. And, just excited for Sunday.
You still as hungry as you were year one? And if so, where does that come from?
Yeah, of course. I'm hungrier than I was year one. Of course, year one, you don't really know what to expect. At my time, it was the BA era. So BA, and then, of course, going to Steve Wills, going to Cliff, now JG. I feel like it's always going to be something new, and I'm always learning new things. I'm always trying to help guys a certain way. I like to say understand your personnel, understand who you have in the locker room, and how to communicate those certain things to those guys. And, that's what I do.
Have you seen a guy like Rabbit come along, and where has he improved his game the most?
Yeah, Rabbit has improved his game a lot. He came in, making some rookie mistakes, but of course he comes in and comes to work every day, grinding. He goes to see our coach, PT early to get more information on the game. And what I've noticed about Rabbit is he'll when he's messed some things up, the next day or the next week, he doesn't mess that same thing up. It's a new mistake. So that's a big thing that you, of course, you don't want to see any mistakes, but, we're human. That's what happens. But you want to see guys learn from their mistakes, and he's done a great job of doing that. He's going to be a great player for us, and, I'm excited for his future as well because, of course, he has all the intangibles to be a great player, and I'm very excited for him, especially being in the safety room, so I can help him out in whatever details that he asks me to do. So, that's my main goal, of course, is to control what I can control, but do my things at a very high level. And when guys have those questions, I can help them out and let them understand, better about the knowledge of the game, but also what our coaches want to be. And another quote I like is "team over you." That's a big thing as well, because that's how I kind of have always been. I've never, cared about, certain accolades. Of course, it's very positive. I'm blessed to have, those accolades. But at the end of the day, it's about the team, and it's about what we can do as a group that matters the most. And, at the end of the year, maybe that's when I'm like, all right, that's cool. I made a Pro Bowl. That's cool. But, of course, I don't want to go to the Pro Bowl. I want to go to the Super Bowl. So, we're taking it one day at a time, and we're trying to get there. So we're working hard.
Kaiser back on the field and calling the defense. What part of his game trickles down the most to the rest of the defense?
Well, Kaiser is just a headbanger. He's a guy who will run full speed into an O-lineman, guard, tackle, center, doesn't matter who it is, running back. Just that no fear factor of just he understands his job, but plays very fast. And, of course, bringing in a guy like Mac as well, has that same mentality. So, you guys haven't seen them play, or, you've seen them practice a little bit, but, of course, they still have taken care of their teammates. But when it comes to, running full speed into somebody, those two guys, I'm very excited to see in person. So I'll be in the back cleaning it up and just letting them play fast.
On the subject of leadership, it's always talked about leading by example and then being vocal. Are both important, or is one maybe better than the other?
I mean, it all depends on who you are, who you are. I will say, when I was younger, I wasn't a big talker. I would just kind of lead by example. And, at the time, my coaches and certain guys were just like, hey, man, you start talking, and, I always felt that, nervousness of talking to the guys. I would kind of start shaking, get the sweats a little bit when I was younger, and because I just wanted to play football. But now, of course, growing up, just understanding that, these guys are looking for someone at times to kind of lead them, and that's what it's all about. So just understanding that, to have that poise and have that just humility to just be that leader whichever way it is. I think both are great. To have both is great. To have one is great. To have the other is great. And as long as you're doing your job at a high level, that's all I care about.
Been around Dennis Gardeck a long time. What's it like being a teammate with him?
Yeah, Dennis, I like Dennis. That's my guy, man. We sit next to each other in defensive meetings all the time, kind of crack jokes a little bit. He talks to me about his kid, his baby, and I talk to him about my baby a little bit. And, a guy who, of course, started out being a special teams guy, but, when I saw him pass rushing those few years back, man, he's a great pass rusher. And a guy that can, be back at linebacker at certain plays and drop, but also rush the passer. He's definitely like a joker of our cards. So I'm definitely excited to see what he can do as well. And he's going to continue to take it one day at a time and grind like he always does. Does great on special teams, and when he comes in on defense, he's going to create some havoc. So I'm excited.
About Josh on that offense. What's your thoughts on their running back?
Cook, Lil Cook. I like him. I like him a lot. His, I remember playing his brother in 2021 and 20, and he was doing a lot of good things against us. So, of course, just to go against him, he's a great running back, that can run inside the tackles, but also run outside the tackles as well. And they like to, scat him a lot sometimes as well. So he's a jack of all trades running back. Some running backs are a first down back and then come off third down and, stuff like that. He's an all-around back. So just very excited to go against him and to see what he got, because he got a lot of juice on film, never gone against him. So excited.
Thanks,
Thanks, man.